Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe. What do all these players have in common? Sure, they're all incredible and have all laid claims to being best in class, even if just in short spats, but also, they all individually cost less than Romelu Lukaku in accumulated transfer fees. A funny statement, because I don't know how many people view him in the same bracket as the players I just mentioned. Romelu Lukaku is easily one of the strangest cases that we've come across in world football in the modern age. Opinions about this guy are just about as consistent as his first touch. Divisive is an understatement. One second he's labeled as nothing but a bully, the next he's one of the deadliest, most thoughtful strikers on the planet. It's tough, but we also have to admit the man doesn't do himself very many favors in changing those viewpoints. It's hard to find a set of fans at the clubs that he's played for that is not divided when it comes to their opinions about him. From cryptic interviews to kissing the badge wherever he goes to constantly talking about how he needs to level up elsewhere. He is an enigma. He really is. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. As you can see, it's a mixed bag. At the time of making this video, Romelu Lukaku is a Chelsea player. Not sure how much longer that will last, and the reason for that is pretty much on brand with the purpose of this video. Regardless of what happens, this man has experienced quite a roller coaster of a career that is worth looking into. So, what is the deal with Romelu Lukaku? Yo, what is going on everyone? Really hope you're all doing well. I'm Tinashe, welcome back to the channel. Over the years, Romelu Lukaku has made me question whether he's an elite player or more than I think is necessary. He also makes me feel terrible for judging him so harshly when it comes to some of his on-field performances, and then, well, not so terrible when he just comes up with disaster classes in high-pressure situations. Such is the life when it comes to this guy, right? Make no mistake, as a person, Lukaku is far more impressive than the majority, if not all, the people that might come across this video. Apart from being a professional athlete, which is far more than enough, he's fluent in French, German, English, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Flemish, and Italian. That's not bad. I mean, I only know how to chat shit. Born in 1993 in Belgium to Congolese parents, Romelu Lukaku and his family never had it easy. Poverty was a very real reality and times were tough. His father was a professional footballer, but there was no money to go around when that career came to an end. And as if it wasn't bad enough, when Lukaku himself started gaining traction in his own footballing journey, he was met with his fair share of prejudice. When I was 11 years old, I was playing for the Lierse Youth Academy, and one of the parents from the other team literally tried to stop me from going on the pitch. He was like, "How old is this kid? Where is his ID? Where is he from?" Sure, the guy was a physical anomaly early on, but imagine how this would affect a young boy. And as we all know, the negative opinions when it comes to this guy do not end there. We're jumping a little bit ahead in this story, but it's not uncommon for Lukaku to mention how Belgian media labels him as a Belgian player when he plays well for the national team and a Congolese player when he doesn't. Succeeding despite the obstacles is a common theme in his life. Early on, he showcased exceptional talent, catching the attention of scouts and eventually joining the youth academy of Anderlecht, a big, strong striker that often could not be stopped when in and around the box. Lukaku's development at Anderlecht was rapid, and by the time he was 16, he made his first team debut in the Belgian Pro League, becoming the league's youngest ever scorer. He went on to score 41 goals in 98 overall appearances between 2009 and 2011. His incredible performances led to a transfer to Chelsea in 2011 for about 12 million euros. According to him, this was a dream come true, something that would become a bit of a trend, reference to his dreams, of course. Although this is an instance that perhaps can't be memed too heavily, there is recorded evidence of a 16-year-old Lukaku being absolutely dumbfounded by Chelsea and Stamford Bridge a whole 2 years before his move to London. "Give me a ball and I will play here for 5 hours. What a stadium. If one day in my life I will cry, it will be the day I play here. I love Chelsea." This really was a dream come true. The only problem was that, despite his tremendous potential, he struggled to establish himself at Chelsea. Only 8 appearances in the league for him in his first year. As an 18-year-old, you can't expect much more, surely. Nonetheless, he was disappointed. Some may have forgotten this, but Lukaku was a Chelsea player when they won their first ever UCL in 2012, although he doesn't believe he had all that much to do with it. It wasn't me, but the team that won. Fair enough. He was loaned out to West Brom, where he scored 17 goals in the league in his one and only year with them at just 19, a feat which puts him on everyone's radar. Particularly his actual club, Chelsea. He scored more goals than any other Chelsea player in that year, and there was kind of no excuse to not give him a shot, but sadly, the exact same thing happened again, and after only 2 league appearances this time, he was loaned out to Everton. Again, he showcased his goal-scoring prowess, netting impressive numbers in the league. Dude is undoubtedly the greatest striker Everton has seen in the Premier League era, scoring more than any other Everton player in that competition. He scored 68 with 87 in all competitions. It's not hard to argue that his final season at Everton was probably peak Lukaku. That is almost certainly the case when it comes to the Premier League. 25 in 37, only trailing Harry Kane in that year. His future was looking very bright. However, as we've already discussed, despite shaping up to be a huge star in the world of football, this man had already amassed a large amount of detractors by this point in his career. Of course, we had and still have the group of people that dislike him based on his race, his nationality, or his family's lineage, but I don't really think we need to discuss those people all too much right now. I mean, the words we're using are probably too big for them to understand anyway. Apart from that, we had the football-related hate, mainly his first touch and his frequent shortcomings under pressure. Misses like this one against Man United in the 15-16 FA Cup semi-final, or this missed penalty in the same match weren't uncommon for him. The guy scored a lot, but could have and should have scored much more. First touches like this or this didn't help his case too much either. He's rapid, big, and strong, and those attributes definitely did a lot to mask some of his more negative ones. Plus, he was scoring a hell of a lot. I mean, here's the thing, there was some bad, but it's not like it was such a big deal. Although, that was until he stopped scoring. Also, another thing, I don't think anybody was under the illusion that somebody that scores 25 goals in the Premier League for Everton would be sticking around for all too long. All the same, it was Lukaku that made that fact painfully obvious whenever he could, constantly talking about how he wanted to leave Everton for a top club years before he actually did. Bro, we know. All of us knew. There was no need for any of that. Sadly, Lukaku and unprovoked comments in the media is one of the deadliest duos out there. In 2017, for £75 million, it was expected that Lukaku, now 24 and a Manchester United player, would lead the line for many years to come. And he didn't do too badly in his first year either. Not at all. He scored 27 all in all, but after that, things really began to go downhill. There were already signs, as we've already discussed, but I guess it all really started following the 2018 World Cup. He had a good tournament actually, helping Belgium to a 3rd place finish. In order to do so, part of his training regimen involved him bulking up quite a bit to improve his hold-up play and physicality up top. This was all well and good on the international stage, but playing with this much mass doesn't always translate well to every playstyle. Most certainly when it comes to leagues where dynamism is expected from every single player. Man United, who play in the Premier League, were no exception. United over the past few years has been a club that is very difficult to do well in. There are only a handful of players that have managed to flourish in that time frame. Lukaku's form dipping following the World Cup and his return to Manchester simply puts him in the hall of disappointing signings that have come through Old Trafford over the years. Out of favor in both Mourinho and Solskjaer's eyes, his time was limited. Despite this, United managed to somehow offload him for just about the same amount that they brought him for. Inter Milan was next in 2019. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really thought that this was the move that was gonna make all of us eat our words after bad-mouthing this guy for so many years. I mean, he was fantastic off the bat. He even won the Scudetto in year 2. And with that, we came full circle. Now re-established as one of the best, Chelsea came yet again. I sincerely believed that this time would be different. Now 28, an Italian champion, full of experience. Surely things couldn't go sour this time around, right? They could, and they did. Despite scoring on his debut, he never really found his footing in London. Again, disagreements with the manager, the playstyle, and much more meant the Lukaku banter train was back on track. 8 goals in total upon his return. Almost £100 million spent. That's tough. And in typical Lukaku fashion, when things aren't going his way, he turns to the media to let it all be known. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for you right now is read you 2 quotes from the big man, and you can I guess make of them what you will. The first comes from around September 2021, and it's him talking about his move to Chelsea. It goes a little bit like this. "I didn't want to go behind Inter's back. They got me out of the shit. I was in a deep hole at Manchester United. After training, I went to Inzaghi's office. I didn't want to ruin the atmosphere because I was no longer with my head in Milan. So I asked him, please, find an agreement." The dude really wanted to go to Chelsea and wanted to be respectful about it. That's fair play. Now, this is him 3 months later in December 2021. "Physically, I am fine, but I am not happy with the situation at Chelsea. Tuchel has chosen to play with another system. I won't give up. I will be professional. Now it is the right time to share my feelings. I have always said that I have Inter in my head. I know I will return to Inter. I really hope so. I am in love with Italy." I swear every sports journalist and broadcaster just knows that their rent is sorted as soon as they hear that this guy is about to give an interview. He got his wish and was loaned out. But again, things got worse. The 2022 World Cup and the 2023 UCL final provided us with a low-light reel that is much longer than it really should be. Missed chance after missed chance after missed chance, and thumbs up after hands on head. The guy is cursed. It's the only explanation. As a result of this, many have chosen to blame Lukaku for Belgium's group stage exit in the World Cup and Inter Milan's 1-0 defeat to Manchester City in the UCL final. Now, the game is played with 11 players on each side, so that kind of thinking is wrong in my eyes, but he does shoulder some of it, right? It is tough. And that brings us to today. At the time of recording this video, Lukaku is in a bit of a limbo state. Yes, he's still a Chelsea player, but I highly doubt either of those parties want to be reunited. He's already missed the start of preseason training. Inter Milan really wanted to keep him, but there's always been doubt that they're willing to match the asking price that Chelsea wanted. Plus, if the reported offer that they tabled of a Twix bar and a bag of half-eaten Oreos was true, then not sure if Chelsea would be willing to accept it. I would. It's a good deal. Saudi Arabian clubs look keen, as they have when it comes to other European players as well, but not sure if that's going to go through. Also, recently, apparently he's been in talks with Juventus, which I don't think Inter Milan fans are pretty happy about. I'm not sure if Juventus fans are happy about it either. Seems like a very odd bridge-burning tactic. Strange. By the time this video comes out, his fate could already be sealed. God knows things have dragged on long enough. Currently 30 years old, he's nowhere near finished, and could still command a high-profile move if he gets back into proper form, but it is a little less likely now. So what can we say about Romelu Lukaku? Put into the right system, the guy is really good. Perhaps a lot of the hate that he receives isn't exactly justified, but like I said in the intro, he doesn't do himself very many favors. All I know is that his next contract better include a no microphone clause. I think things would be a lot easier that way. And there we have it. Let me know what you guys think about Lukaku and this entire dramatic event. Feel free to follow all the socials. All the links are in the description. That's all from me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.